Why, hello, friends. Welcome on into the Check Your Brain podcast. It's here. Yes, indeed. I have a special guest, an in-studio guest. But before we get to that, if you enjoy this show, I have plenty more where all that comes from on my Patreon at patreon.com/Tony Mazur. It's still active. I still haven't been struck yet, although we know a couple of people have been struck from their Patreon, right?
Hi.
Hi. With me is my good pal Chad Zumock. Now, a lot of people might remember we used to do a show called Mondays with Mazur,
hmm
but schedules change and um, uh, I guess lifestyles change and formats change, and all of that was going on. So then we kind of did like a monthly with Mazur, and I don't know, whenever we feel like we want to do an episode. But this week, Chad happens to be in town at the Funny Stop Comedy Club. But I don't know, you want to do a plug or no?
No.
Not really.
Who gives a shit?
We're, we're hanging out. That's what we're doing. But yeah, no, I don't normally have a lot of in-person guests because of the days of Zoom and COVID and everything.
Zoom for Zumock.
Dustin, I know you enjoy when we talked about COVID back in the day.
By the way, I will plug the funny stuff because rumor has it's for sale. So this might be my last time I'm there if you think about it.
Or at least of this incarnation of it.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if they sell this the building itself, it might not be a comedy club. You don't know.
Because then we'll, and if they start another comedy club, we'll actually have to come up with different material instead of the stock jokes of it being next to the Dollar General and the Goodwill and the Arthur Treachers.
Yeah, well, those are like my go-tos.
No, that's Joe Howard's go-to.
Oh, I can't keep up hack with a bunch of hacks.
So I want to start the show off today with a couple of questions. You could actually pick which question you want to answer first.
Mhm.
Your thoughts on the Israel-Gaza conflict, or how do you get your material? Or actually, a third one, where do you go up?
When you Brian McCarthy.
I have to say this. I was talking to you on the phone about this the other day, but there's so many. Chad has something in him. It's a gift. It's not a curse. It's a gift that he gets under people's skin more better than anybody I can even know. Even people who are even keeled, level headed, like Anthony Cumia, they will go apoplectic over things Chad has done. And I've seen that locally, just here in my neck of the woods of Northeast Ohio, all the way to national radio and national comedians. The Patton Oswalt thing. You, for whatever reason, you have something you get under people's skin.
And Chick McGee.
Chick McGee.
I got under his skin too.
What about Christy Lee? Was she cool with
No,
you?
Christy and I are cool. She's fine.
That show is still going on. We'll
It's
talk
still
about another popular radio or one
Bob and
popular
Tom.
radio show in a few minutes. That's my next topic. Is
Rover, Maxwell, you name it. I know how to get to these people. I don't know what it is. It's like,
But did you have that as a maybe a kid or a high schooler that you can do that with classmates?
I don't know. I can assess the situation or a person and I kind of pick out their like insecurity or whatever their thing is, like quickly, and then I use it as a weapon, and then I just go after it, and then I strike emotion in them. I don't.
Because you got that. You've done this for, I think I met you about 15 years ago when you got on to Alan Cox. And when you were on the radio, whether it was jealousy by other comics who wanted to be on the show or other radio people, you bothered them to the point where I'm seeing these people who are, again, normally pretty milk toast individuals who are just going out of their minds and making fake Twitter accounts and trying to get you canceled. And this was way before that term was even coined.
Yeah, I remember when I got that gig. Ryan Dalton and I were like probably. I'd throw it out there. We were kind of like really good friends, and he didn't talk to me for like 2 months after that because he thought it was his gig to have. And then butt plug Joe Howard, like
Always hated you from the beginning, then
from
pretended to like you, but
yes,
still always hated you.
yeah, like he applied for the job after I got the job. He sent like a promotional package, and I mean because I remember Bo calling me in the office going, "Who's this Joe Howard? Like, what's this thing? Like, is he think he's gonna get it? Is he thinks he's gonna get the job now? Like,
Yeah.
we already hired someone."
Yeah, he's and I'd seen Joe on stage, and to his credit, at one time he was really funny.
hmm
And then I saw the material 5 years later. It was the same
And then
stuff.
10 years later, then 15 years later, it's the same stuff.
And
Yeah,
and we all know he's watching right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Hi.
but it went from that micro sense of being here, and then when you started making appearances on Sirius, and you were going to New York, you were living in L.A. you were touring the country and you were still bothering people. And from afar, just watching people uh, just lose their absolute shit over things that you're just, like you said, you expose a weakness that people have done the Howard Stern show. And again, we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes, but they would do that and they would find something and you'd have Artie or you'd have somebody on the show, Stuttering John, start to freak out. But you do so in one of the most creative type of ways. And I when I ask you about it, you kind of shrug your shoulders like, I don't know how this happens.
I don't get it either. I really don't. I had a nice run. Like after I did that Gotham, I think it was 2016 or 15.
With Norm Macdonald.
Yeah. I just thought about this like a week ago. I can honestly say out of anybody, anyone, Norm Macdonald opened for me. He was like I had Norm Macdonald's my opener. Nobody can say that. Kevin, nobody. Bobby Kelly. That's pretty incredible. That's pretty crazy.
Because I remember that was a time you were sober, you were on it, and
Yeah.
because you were. Let's be honest, it took a little bit because I had to go through that same period of, oh, I got let go from my high profile local radio job to what am I going to do next? Am I going to give in and just give up, or
Hmm.
what's my next move? And there's going to be a transition, and it takes a little bit. I remember bumping into you and at the Hustler Club one night.
Oh, Jesus.
You were wearing a shirt that said Zumock for Parma.
Well, sounds, yeah, I still have one of those.
And but it was just like, what's Chad doing here? That's kind of random. It was a Wednesday night. I think it was 2 days before LeBron ended up coming back to Cleveland. And it was just this weird time. And you realize you got sober and you were able to try to get so focused. But it's so weird to think that that world almost doesn't even exist anymore. The days of wanting to be on a late night show, that the days of, oh, I'm on Gotham Comedy Live. Right now, you're better off being on Kill Tony.
Well, I was talking to Swartzen about this. Like, it's funny. It's like all my goals in comedy, I just missed them by this much. I always wanted a Comedy Central half hour, never got it. I was like, I want to get on Premium Blend, never got it, but I got on Live on Gotham. I was like, I want to get on Howard Stern show, never got it, but I got on Artie and Anthony.
And Artie Lang's radio show.
Yeah, yeah. So Artie Lang's radio show too. So I always like missed the thing, but I got like a little bit of it, a
First
taste.
to it, yeah.
Yeah, I never got that thing though.
Because if you're of the like Gen X or millennial generation, that was the thing, is that it used to be you want to be on Carson, and Carson calls you over, gives you the okay.
Oh, in Conan.
Conan.
And I went to Conan with Mark Norman, and I met JP Buck, the booker, and I go, hey, I would love to send you my stuff. He gave me his personal email. I sent it to him. He goes, we'll get you on next season. COVID happens,
Yep.
and then I'm done. So I never got that. I was always just one step away from that.
And it just, that world doesn't exist anymore. And it happened pretty quick
Mhm.
that Colbert is done. But Colbert never really liked comedians. From what I heard, that
Oh no.
Stephen Colbert's show, he would do pre-recorded comics slots.
I was almost on his show too because I know the booker.
Okay.
And by the way, it pays $750 just to let you know.
Really?
Big TV appearance.
There you go.
So
That's
they would
a car note, as the kids.
they would record them like in bulk,
Mhm.
and Colbert wasn't even in the room when they did it. So they would film it, and like a buddy of mine, Dwayne Perkins, did it, and I remember him telling me, he goes, "Yeah, it was nothing. Like I didn't get one tweet from it. Nobody cared. It was just like I got $750. That's all it was."
Because I think Mark Norman has talked about that, and Joe List, that was the way that you wanted to get on Letterman, and you heard that Letterman was retiring, and you had to really hustle at that point, because what else is there? You want to go ahead and get on James Corden's show? Oh, Craig Ferguson, no one's really watching. And then now to say, hey, make sure you watch me tonight. I'm going to be on Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show. You're going to get nothing from that, but you're better off going on a fairly high profile podcast. And again, that happened so quick that it made that business completely irrelevant.
Mark Norman told me a story, and it sounds like I'm name dropping. I'm not. It's just I'm in this world. It is what it is. He told me he was at the Omaha Funny Bone, and they were struggling to sell tickets. He in that 1 week he was on Conan on WTBS. He did the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and his half hour comedy or his hour Comedy Central produced by Amy Schumer, aired on Comedy Central. He couldn't sell out Sunday. He just couldn't do it. And then he did Rogan the next week and sold out the entire week. It was just that simple. But he did three things. He was on TV three times, significant, and nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit.
It's amazing, and I don't really do much stand up nowadays. I don't really have the urge. I don't have the itch to get back on stage.
Oh, you're missing out.
Oh, I know. I can't wait to be there for the 2-drink minimum and the mozzarella sticks.
I mean,
But it seems like such an archaic like it's a business that we like, we enjoy the art of doing stand up, but it's almost seems like it's this Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey circus where we're hearkening back to a time in a place that probably won't exist because I don't know, younger people are not really going to comedy clubs, are they? I don't know, maybe.
they are. I mean, with TikTok guys and Mike Rife, I mean, yeah, people are still like Shane Gillis is very popular, and
But that's not a comedy club, that's an arena.
that's true.
It's gone from you have your hilarities acts that we have here in.
By the way, I used to have this Alf.
That's from Burger King.
Yeah, I remember. I used to have it.
1988.
Yeah.
There was one time that you wanted to get your stuff out there and get on stage and but now if you're a superstar, you're doing a theater, you're doing an arena, and the rest of it is at a smaller comedy club. So I guess that's where when you're on your way up or when you're on your way back down.
Yeah, I mean, it's so there's I mean, it's so funny. I'll go to comedy club websites. I don't go as much as I used to because I don't rely on it like I used to. But half of these guys, I don't know who they are. They're just viral dudes, guys who blew up on TikTok or Instagram, but they're the ones selling tickets. And
That's funny though.
Well, that was my thing. That was my hook. I used to find viral guys, and I would like email the book, like, can I feature for this guy? And I go in and murder because I knew what I was doing. I wasn't great. They didn't know how to do stand up. I did. So they're like, yeah, next time come back and headline. That's what I would do.
That's great.
So it was like, that was my motive. So yeah.
Isn't that, well, because that's not a new phenomenon. That's what they would do, or if you were someone who was on SNL back in the day. I think you were there. That was the Chris Kattan story, right?
Oh boy, yeah.
Well, tell that one pretty quick.
Chris Kattan, literally, I remember he did the Alan Cox show in Cleveland where I used to be on the radio, and I sold out hilarities. And the first night, he was supposed to do 45 minutes, couldn't even get through 10. Nick, the owner, goes, all right, we got a problem here. We're going to make this guy host, and we'll bring in a bunch of locals.
It's a showcase starring Chris Kattan.
Yeah, it was like Mike Chiselka and a bunch of guys, and he was the host. He just didn't have it.
Look, we got to stop name dropping right
Yeah,
now.
I know.
Mike Chiselka. I mean, he's the...
I said Mark Norman, Mike Chiselka. It's too much. It just looks like, all right, Chad, we get it. You know people.
Yeah, Kirk Bogus, all those people.
Kirk Bogus, Chris Harvey.
It's funny because
Bill Stone.
Yeah, well, God bless him. I'm sure you have. Is he featuring for you?
Probably.
Build the flyer for you. He's a great guy, really nice guy.
He's really nice. So nice.
It's interesting because it now segues to the story that we heard this week about Howard Stern, that Howard Stern might not be yet serious anymore. Now, I think he probably will be. I think he'll sign. By the time people listen to this, it'll be old news, and maybe he did re-sign for a 1 or 2 year deal. But that's what it is now. You're not getting this 5-10 year contract anymore. You're getting a 1 to 2 year deal, and you better get your ducks in order for when we're eventually not going to renew you.
I had a funny tweet today. In my mind, I thought it was funny. I was like, I can't wait for Howard Stern to start collecting super chats.
It's like, and then have Stuttering John take over on Howard 100.
I even put that out there. I go, somebody please convince Howard Stern. I'm sorry, Stuttering John, that he could take over for Howard Stern on Twitter, because I think in his mind, he probably is like, I see an opening. I can do this.
By the way, not to get too dabble-versy, but that the convention, the con that John was at over the weekend.
I mean, it's just his life now.
I mean, I've been to these Comic Cons. I see some people who have a line. I saw Richard Dreyfuss. I saw Danny Glover.
Danny Glover.
I've seen a lot of really huge lines for either way past their prime acts or people I've never heard of that are on shows like Riverdale or something. And I've also seen a couple where there's nobody there. It's usually, who's the guy who played the drunk uncle on SNL? What was it? Bobby Moynihan.
Oh, geez. I don't know.
Yeah, there was nobody at his table. I don't think anyone recognized him, but
has been forwarded to an automated voice
John.
system.
Yeah.
Kevin, Or
All right, I'll stop.
Ooh, what area code is
I
that?
think I'm blocked anyway.
But yeah, he's sitting there at a table and he's all slouched over his 25-year-old headshot.
Because he just wants to. Like Johnny. I saw a clip one time, and there's a lot. John basically said all he ever wanted in entertainment was to be a celebrity. He says all ever wanted to do was be a celebrity. It wasn't about being a comic or a musician or a radio guy. He's like, I wanted to be famous. That's all I wanted. That's all John cares about.
I still haven't seen One Too Many.
Yeah, keep it that way. You shouldn't.
We should have a watch party, like one of those where we try to build up content. You're going out of town. You're like, hey, I'm not going to be on for a couple of days, but enjoy my watch party of us seeing One Too Many.
I think a couple of people have done it already, but
would you rather watch that, or would you rather watch Mr. Horton's Bike Shop from?
oh, Mr. Horton's Bike Shop.
That's different.
It's funnier.
It's funny because Dabbleverse stuff and me trying to introduce people to Stuttering John and all that whole universe, the Perry Caravello, Windy City Heat stuff. I'm getting blank stares from normies. They're not. Anytime I try to introduce it, they're like, I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. John, Stuttering John. I think I remember him from. He was on Howard Stern. Yeah. Well, what's he doing now?
It's back in the day, like when I grew up, I loved pro wrestling growing up. I'm not like I pay attention to it just because it's it's there. It's pop culture. It's there. But there used to be like a stigma with pro wrestling. Like you almost had to like whisper, like, "Hey man," and then you like quietly, like, "Okay, you hear about the Road Warriors demolition? You heard about the demolition match?" And it's just like it was a thing. You had to keep on the DL. It's almost like the same thing with the Dabbleverse. You got to like, ski mask. Like it's a whole thing. It's like a weird subculture, internet weird. I don't know what it is.
I was in Pittsburgh a couple of months ago, and it was one of those shows. It was I think it's America Strikes Back or something, and it's with Cumia and Gavin McInnes and Josh Denny. Gavin got stuck at the airport. He wasn't able to make it. So instead of Gavin, they just had a Q&A with Josh and Cumia.
Ooh.
So, of course, I had to ask a question. I said, who has fresher material, Stuttering John Melendez or Mitch Hedberg? And Josh Denny shot it down immediately. He's like, oh, no, we're not going to the fucking Dabbleverse now, are we?
Did Anthony laugh?
He laughed, and he's like, yeah, I think Mitch Hedberg has it on him. And that was the end of the show.
Wow.
I killed it. It was like I completely just pulled a 180 and just talked about somebody's.
It's amazing how Josh Denny has some sort of weird thing with that side of the. Josh Denny's like kind of a nothing. I don't understand how he's gotten like some sort of like he's doing shows with Gavin and Cumia. Like Josh Denny is like legitimately nothing.
I think what it was is there was a void that we saw Chrissy Mayer a part of. We saw a couple of other people that Chrissy's had in that universe. And there was a void of during the Biden years of you just need somebody who's not even just left wing, just like somebody who's normal and saying things like men can't get pregnant or something.
He was literally Patrick Melton's co-host. You know that?
Yes, I do know that.
No, he was a co-host. Like that's how nothing he was. I just don't get it. I mean, a lot of these guys just leaned into that right wing grift to make some cash, and he was one of them. Like Chrissy's one of them. Mm-hmm. They
were they before then? See, I've always been pretty. Be honest, I've always been pretty right wing.
Yeah,
people can say whatever they want about my comedy, that I'm not funny or good host or anything. But one thing you can't say about me is that I haven't been on.
And I'll say something
political right.
A little something controversial right here because
you voted for Obama,
big time. Hillary, no,
Biden 2028.
We're both friends with Dave Landau. We like Dave Landau,
yes,
but he was a liberal guy who leaned into that when he got the Anthony Cumia job. He just was. He even told me to my face. And I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I'm not trying to start a problem. I love Landau. He just leaned into it because
you have a problem with Martin Landau is what you're talking about.
It's not even that. Like I'm not trying to start anything, but there was money to be made, and a lot of people capitalized on that. I'm not saying like Landau's like grifting off of it. I'm just saying he leaned into it because he found an audience. But Josh Denny's another guy. Chrissy Mayer was a feminist.
Yeah.
She was, period. Go Google it. It's there. It's not authentic. She got attached to Cumia, and now that's her brand. She hates black people. It is what it is. It's just, it's all bullshit. It's, and I've always
Yeah,
been
you
a
got to be consistent if you're going to hate black
right,
people.
and I've been a conservative guy
I've been
myself.
consistent on hating. No,
And I will say that I was an Obama guy the first term. I go, okay, black president, that sounds like fun. Let's do it. I went to downtown Cleveland with Josh Schneed and Ted Alexandro, and I saw
wow.
Bruce Springsteen play before Obama.
I remember that. It was near the Brown Stadium.
Yeah, I was right there, and I was there, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Then I realized Obama's an idiot. I go, okay, he's a fucking piece of shit.
Mhm.
And then I go, okay, Trump sounds like fun. Let's do this. And then when they try to shoot the fucking guy, I'm like, yeah, I'm all in with this guy. Fuck yeah.
That's the interesting thing about filling that void, because there's so many of these left-wing comics who come out, and the Mark Marons of the world, and the, like you said, Ted Alexandro, and uh and then you saw a lot of those former edge lords from the 90s that would go on message boards, the aforementioned.
By the way, I haven't done a podcast without super chats in a long time, so I'm like, let's pull up some super chats.
Yeah, exactly. For let's see, for $2 we have yeah, the it's amazing that doing a podcast almost seems like archaic now at this point.
Yeah,
No, it's just
what is this?
yeah, exactly. Two people talking and not looking at their computer.
Yeah,
But
having a conversation.
yeah, the with Dave Landau, do you think though that he has evolved to being, I don't want to even say a right-wing guy, but just somebody who he's a true believer as opposed to I'm doing this for a paycheck?
I think, and I'm not going to speak on behalf of Dave. Dave's a great guy. Okay, let me get that out there right real quick. He's a good dude. He's been very good to me. I've known him forever, man. And he's a good comic. So he gets like, I'm happy for his success, and he has had success. But when he got the Cumia job, he had to lean into that world. Now he's on Greg Gutfeld, which is great. I'm happy. He's funny. He delivers. But I don't know if it's honestly, maybe he's open. I don't know. I could be wrong. But I mean, he did tell me, he goes, I just kind of like do this because it is what it is.
Yeah, it's well, because at the time he was on there in what, 2018, I believe.
Yeah.
Because so you think about when it was people just apoplectic over Trump every day.
Now this Dave's all about comedy. He loves comedy. He comes from sketch comedy like I did. He was in Second City in Detroit. So we love Kids in the Hall. He loves comedy. So like however you can get an audience, I get it, but there's something just not authentic about like, okay, I can make some money over here. Let's just do this.
Well, remember in those days, that was when we started seeing Hannah Gadsby doing that Nanette special.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. I was right. And nothing was funny about it. Yet the audience score or the critic score was like 100%.
She wasn't raped enough.
So exactly. I'll leave it at that one, for YouTube purposes. But that's what happened, is that she was out there and all the critics are like, maybe we're in a
By the way, who's gonna rape Hannah Gadsby? She's ugly as fuck.
Yeah, that's not one that I'm not dreaming about cranking out to that one.
I want to know who's raping Hannah Gadsby. I want to know the guy. I'm gonna fuck her so bad.
Yeah, it's like if you have these thoughts about other female comics, I think we know a few of them. Some of them actually open to OnlyFans, but not Hannah Gadsby.
Yeah, dude, let's throw her on a pinball machine. Let's go to town. Fuck yeah.
Just throw her Jodie Foster style. That's great.
Hannah Gadsby.
I just want to know if
Whoever raped Hannah Gadsby, you're a fucking loser. You have terrible taste in women.
And you got to make sure which pinball machine that you're going to do it on.
Yeah, I better be on a Tron video, a Tron pinball game.
Those Kiss pinball
with
machines.
Jeff Bridges.
They have this Sorta kind of sounds like Paul Stanley.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, but that was what was going on at the time, and I think there was that big reaction towards people that you respected at one time, like a Howard Stern. Here's my segue of someone you're like, you did black.
That's why you listen to Check Your Brain, because Mazur knows how to get to the point.
It's you say like, oh well, Howard used to drop N-bombs and would have KKK guy Daniel Carver on a show, and all of a sudden now he's
blackface,
smelly N-word with Sherman Hemsley, who's dressed as Whoopi, and I understand the reference. I understand what they were doing. It was the Ted Danson, so I'm not going to sit there and say, well, so you need to apologize for it. But he clearly went a little bit further than a lot of people did, and then it
was great,
more sycophantic. Where there was a time where you say, well, Howard's interviews are great. I still listen to Howard because of his interviews and his reputation.
His interviews stink, by the way.
They're really not bad.
They're the worst.
It was just him asking a question to the Chili Peppers, like, so, well, you did Under the Bridge, and it was about heroin, right? And Anthony Kiedis would say, yeah, I would be under the bridges in Los Angeles. You were under the bridges in Los Angeles, and he would just repeat what's going on, and everyone's like, he's a great interview. He's Larry King. This man is.
He played like a snippet of Californication. He goes, "What were you thinking when you wrote this?" It's like,
That's like going on local radio and saying, how do you get your material?
yeah. He
Full
stinks.
circle.
Ron Bennington is a million times better interviewer than Howard Stern. 100%.
Before Larry King's brain turned into tapioca, that's what he would do, where he would have an opening question and he would listen to the answer, and his follow-up question would be because he listened to the answer that the person gave from the first question,
Right.
instead of going, because that's the other thing in radio is that you had all these people that say like, you have your first question, and as they're answering, you're already preparing your second question, not even listening to the first answer that you got. And so there has to be a little bit of a balance, but Howard Stern's going away. It's going to fill, I don't know who fills that void. I guess there's a beef between Sirius, in Sirius between Howard and Andy Cohen about who's the new star at Sirius.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Andy Cohen.
Embarrassing. Two gay.
It's going straight to smart list. It's going to be Jason Bateman. Well, who are those guys? Fucking, who's the other guy from Arrested Development?
Oh, David Cross.
No, the Smart List podcast.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
They gave him a shitload of money for Sirius XM.
It's the viability of Sirius. It just, I guess when
They tried to make Nikki a thing because I was on her show. They're trying to like make Nikki into the next radio personality. It didn't work.
Like you have a rental car, they have Sirius in that or something.
They do.
That's about it. That's all you're getting. The only people listening to Sirius is you rented a car
Yeah.
at Hopkins Airport.
Shout out to Enterprise, baby. Enterprise, rent a car.
I just don't see it. I mean, I get it. It served its purpose at one time 20 years ago.
Although a guy like Florentine, our friend, he's on Ozzy's Boneyard. He can do whatever he wants on his show, and he plays like tracks nobody knows. He picks them, which is what was the power of the DJ at one point. That's the reason why Rush broke here in Cleveland. That's the reason why Bruce Springsteen, the DJ picked these songs. It wasn't like this is what you had to do. So Florentine still has that luxury of doing that. Like, okay, there's a band called was it Crooked Teeth? I don't remember. Anyways, I didn't know who they were. He just played them, and I go, these guys are fucking great.
He did the same thing with Saxon.
Yeah.
It's a band that Jim loved growing up. I guess they opened for Ozzy back in the day. And I remembered, I think he texted me or you or whatever and said, how does Tony know this song? And I realized, I was listening to Ozzy's Boneyard one time and he was talking about it. So yeah,
here's a good behind the scenes story. You want to hear this?
Yes.
So
I heard Ozzy died. Rest in power.
Yeah. Breaking news. So they went over to see Ozzy's last show, which I was going to go to, but I didn't want to pull the trigger. It was too much money. It was Jim Norton and Jim Florentine. Luckily, everything lined in their corner where they bought tickets. They were just going to watch as spectators. Next thing you know, they're backstage. They're hanging out with Sharon Osbourne. They're doing interviews for Ozzy's Boneyard. It all worked out.
Yet Sirius didn't send him there.
No.
And they had already let go of Jim Norton.
But they were doing the interviews. They were interviewing Billy Corgan, Maynard, everybody. So long story boring, the quote the great Brent Ernst, who used to live in Fairlawn. They interviewed Duff from Guns N' Roses and Duff's hot wife, Susan. If you follow her on Instagram, she's gorgeous. And Duff and Susan are huge fans of Florentine's show. They know we listen to it because Duff goes, you make me know about music I don't even know about.
Wait, the Boneyard show.
Yeah, the Boneyard show. So Duff listens to it like on the regular, like because he wants to know about these bands. And he goes, I listen to your show specifically because you teach me about music, which is crazy. It's insane because Duff has a show on that channel too. But he goes, I purposely listen to your show so I can listen to these new bands. I want to be in the know, and you seem to be in the know, which is kind of cool.
That is, I mean, it is cool, but does the average person like that, or do they want to hear Crazy Train?
They want to hear Crazy Train.
Because that's what I had to deal with in my radio days, is that when I was trying to program a rock station and I was sick and tired of playing Linkin Park and Black Keys and whatever was in the alternative music. And I said, I'm so sick and tired of them. And the consultants, the program directors, the people, they would say, if when you are sick of them, that means the audience wants it more. And I said, that's retarded. That makes no sense.
I'm not joking when I say this. I got my rental car, right? And I go, I'm going to click on a little 98.5.
Oh, yeah.
And before I did it, I go, I bet you any amount of money, I'll throw it down right now. Golden Earring, Radar Love's on right now.
Ooh.
And it was. I couldn't believe it. I go, this is fucking amazing.
Not even Twilight Zone?
Not even the Twilight Zone's a great song, but at the same time, like I couldn't believe that, like, it's just that's what commercial radio is at this point. It's just, it is what it is. Who's breaking new bands? I want to know new bands. They're there, they exist. I want to know.
My belief with doing radio was you got to fish where the fish are. If you're fishing in a swimming pool, you're not catching anything. You got to go where they're at. But those people, I think they look at listeners as being dumb.
Right.
That, oh, if they hear a Tom Petty song that's not Free Fallin' or Running Down a Dream, if it's not even a B-side, just a lesser known, like Don't Do Me Like That, they're going to change
Don't
the
do me
channel
like that.
and they're never going to come back. And I said, what? It's not 1987 anymore. That those days are gone. I would think the average listener might be a little bit more intelligent than they give them credit for, and that maybe, oh, hey, I will trust the DJ. I will trust a Jim Florentine on Ozzy's Boneyard not to steer me the wrong way when it comes to a song. But they don't want normally, mainstream commercial rock stations are not going to allow that.
Well,
they don't allow that autonomy.
You probably already know the story. I've told it. I mean, we've talked a million times, but I got written up. This is the reason why I'm friends with Chuck D from Public Enemy. I told you this story, right?
Yes. Because I know you're a big fan of "Man in the Box" by Alice in Chains, right?
That was another song that was always on before we went on. So I read a story about some guy in Britain or somewhere, London. You could look it up, Google it. He just played some weird, obscure Public Enemy song. Like it wasn't even a hit. He just played it on the radio, and the phones just blew up. They're like, "Yeah, play that again." It went to #1 on the charts. That was the power of the DJ.
Yep.
And I heard that story, and I heard a guy got fired or something. So me being the fucking, I'm like, I'm a rebel. So I knew Corey Roddick, who was the radio guy in the midday. I go, "Can you slip this song in for me?" And he goes, "I don't know." I go, "Please, just do it. And he slipped it in. It was a Public Enemy song, the same song that they played. And Bo Matthews at the time, he's no longer in radio. Fuck him.
Wait, that's not his real name, right?
Alex Gutierrez. So he, that's just for us. He wrote me up. I got in trouble. And somehow I got back to Chuck D. And that's how we got our connection, because Chuck D would call in a radio show every month after that, because he thought that was like cool. That was punk rock. Yeah. I go, I like the story. It was cool, and it's a good song. It's called "Harder Than You Think" by Public Enemy.
But they didn't want to take a chance.
They didn't want to take a chance, but
you were adding your own music.
Yeah, I just threw it in. It was like midday. It was like 2:00 in the afternoon. Who cares?
Well, it's probably was it on Big Hair Wednesdays? Then?
I don't know what it was. I asked Corey, "Can you slip it in real quick?" And he was real nervous too. And I'll take the fall. I got it. And sure enough, I did take the fall. I got written up.
There's just no reason.
By the way, Corey threw me on the bus. He said, "Chad asked me to play it."
Okay.
Fuck you, Corey Roddick. I'm kidding.
Is that his real name too?
No, it's Corey Hawkins.
What's Josh Potter's real name?
I honestly don't know.
Bootlakus or something.
Yeah, it's something weird.
Can we use our real names, please?
I mean,
I understand Gersten Haber doesn't sound very good. You want to go by the Bull, but that stuff happens.
This is so inside baseball.
It's just I know.
Is Anthony Lima listening? Because he's the only person that would get this.
Yeah, he might. He might. Yeah. That is his real name, though.
Yeah,
so
we'll give
kudos to him. Speaking of sports, I want to get your thoughts on the dildos at the WNBA.
I love it.
And the reason I ask you that is I have people that will send me stuff and they say, Chad's talking about the WNBA. And I'm going, I guarantee you, Chad is not sitting there at a sports bar every night watching countless WNBA games. He's doing it. It's either as a goof or it's a big topic where you're seeing someone like Caitlin Clark get elbowed in the face by some black lesbian.
Here's where we differ. And I know your take on the WNBA. I made fun of the WNBA forever. I used to have jokes. One of my sock lines was, "I'm about as popular as a ticket scalper as a WNBA basketball game." So it was always a fucking joke. And this Caitlin Clark bitch comes in my life. And I love her story. Catholic upbringing, good person. 4.0 student, great family. I just followed her story. Number one, everything was great about her, and I love her game as a basketball player. She's a great player. She's a great shooter, great passer, pass first, shoot second. I just followed her journey from Iowa to Indiana, and I just followed it. It was just like a story.
Yeah.
And then I got like into the Indiana fever and all the people, and then I realized how petty these bitches are and how shitty that league is. And you're like, they're killing the golden goose. This girl who brought you, she's the Michael Jordan. She's Tiger Woods, and you're fucking ruining it
Yeah.
with this pettiness, which I love. I love how these bitches are just mean and awful to her. So I love how poorly ran that league is, how petty they are, and that's why I watch it, because there's drama. It's like Desperate Housewives. It's that's what it is. It's a reality show to me, but also mixed in with a little basketball, you know. And I root for this Caitlin Clark girl. I really do. I know it's like, oh, you're so brave, but it's a good story, man. She's a once in a lifetime generational player who's brought eyes on that league. The reason anyone watches it is because of her, but these dumb fucking black cunts, these lesbians, don't want to get. They like, I was here before her. Yeah, but nobody gave a fuck. She's box office.
I was gonna go see the dumb cunt black lesbians at the grog shop tonight. You want to go?
Yeah,
I know the bassist.
that's cool.
No, I know what you're going for
You
there.
see what I'm saying?
But it's not like you're watching this by like you're a degenerate gambler and you're putting
No.
money on it. That you're going like, you know what, guys? Hey, look, I know I had a set tonight, but the WNBA is on at 7 o'clock. I can't wait to watch. You're watching as you're viewing it actually how everybody should, as entertainment.
Yes.
This is what it is. It's
WWE.
diversion, it's entertainment. Yeah.
And
At least
here's
that's what it should be.
And I will give this. You're gonna say like I'm woke or not? I'm not. I was best friends with a lot of people on the Kent State girls basketball team. Like they were like Alana Bader, Dawn Zerman. Google them; they were phenomenal. I used to play basketball with them all the time, so I have like an affection for female basketball players because it's like a. I always thought they were cool chicks. They were like, oh, these chicks are cool. They play ball and we'd hang out. So I have a thing for them. So I did the WNBA league stinks. It stinks.
Yeah.
It's a horribly ran operation, 100%. They don't know what they've gotten with Caitlin Clark. But I will say this, they're competitive, man. Like unlike the NBA, they play fucking defense. And
Yeah.
granted the balls don't go in, but it's fun. But
Well, it's fundamentals.
they're literally clotheslining women, and I go, this is fantastic.
Yeah, who's the Rick Mahorn and the Bill Laimbeer of the WNBA?
Pop all these cunts. These cunts are crazy. They're nuts. They hate each other. They don't support women don't support each other, which I love. Keep throwing dildos on the court. That's awesome. I love that.
And they're green too,
I
so
love
it
that.
shows up on the court.
I want to do it. I want to do that. I want to get arrested for that. That's my goal.
I can't imagine how you would smuggle them in though.
I want to bring a green dildo in and throw it on the court. Like, and that's Sophia Cunningham, who's gorgeous. She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's hot.
And she's the one that she said, stop doing it.
She almost got hit.
What's that?
She almost got hit.
Yeah.
The third.
Now people are throwing green dildos at her because she said, stop doing it. I go, that's amazing.
It's
I'm in.
I will say, yeah, I used to go to WNBA games as a kid because we would go because the tickets were either cheap or free. And I mean, there's no one in there. There's 100 people there at these games. So
And these women stink. They stink.
But it's the same thing when you're going to see single A baseball.
Yeah.
That it's the same sport. It's just an inferior product from what you're used to up the road at a major league stadium.
But I like the storylines behind it. Like Caitlin's like this. She has a boyfriend. They hate her. And I love how the WA just rejects their cash cow. It's so funny.
And she's done nothing but bend over backwards. Like she should be up there goose stepping and Zeke heiling, and instead she's like, "No, actually, I
You literally bent the knee, like, guys, quit following me. You guys are amazing."
And they're like, "Fuck you, white bitch."
Yeah.
Like, please, next time you hit me in the face, can you just at least hit me in the cheek and not my eye? It's one of those things that she's done everything she can for the sport. I think she should retire tomorrow. I think she should retire, say, fuck this. I don't want anything to do with it. Make the league irrelevant again. And I almost think that these players don't want the focus on them. They liked having this under the radar feeling of that they're subsidized by the NBA. They make like
when they booed that
grand a year.
Dijon, I forgot her name is Bonner. She signed with the Fever, and she didn't feel like she fit in. She's like one of the all-time greatest players. I don't know who the fuck she is, but her fucking lesbian girlfriend, wife, played for Phoenix. So she basically left the league and like left the team and talked. She basically quit on the team, and then she came back to the Fever and they booed her mercifully. They should. She quit on the team. And they're like, that's not right. She's one of the all-time great. You shouldn't boo somebody. And I go, you guys are dumb. You're the dumbest people ever. And that's why I watch the WNBA because they're so stupid.
The drama, it really is a reality
It's
show.
drama. It's better than WWF because or WWE because it's real playing, and it's like it's real drama. It's
I would still just rather watch like Columbo or something instead. I'll be honest. Even though you went to the Columbo statue in Tulsa, I remember you sent that to me.
I did. You told me to.
I said there's.
I didn't realize I was like a mile and a half from there.
Was that the place that Patrick Melton was at? Was that the
dude? You want to come full circle?
Comedy condo?
This is how it all happened. Literally, I did a two.
It's putting on the T right there.
There it is. A 2-week run in Oklahoma because these dumb loony bins. By the way, they're not even. I am so obsessed with getting into these loony bins. I don't know why. Because as a comic, you're like, I got to get in this club. I got to get in this club. And the guy, the booker, who, by the way, who's dead now, he died like 2 years ago, said, all right, we'll bring you as a feature.
Was it Pete?
No.
He also died 2 years ago.
But he goes, we'll bring you as a feature and we'll try you out. And if you're great, we'll headline you. I go, okay, cool. So I did Oklahoma City, which was great. Great club. It was fun. And then I did Tulsa. And I'm driving to Tulsa. And my buddy Earl Skakel, who's been on this podcast.
Yes, he is.
And he goes, yeah, my buddy Patrick Melton's the headliner. You're going to love this guy. You guys are going to get along great. You guys are both trolls. You're going to love him. And we did. We got along fine. We weren't going to get along great, but he was a little weird. I didn't click with him, but I was very civil because of Earl's recommendation.
Yeah.
So I met Patrick at this Tulsa loony bin auditioning to headline the club, and he was friends with the booker. That's how I used the headliner. And fast forward now where we are at in the Dabbleverse. Now Melton's a thing. No one knew who he was. I brought him around, and now we're bitter rivals.
Yeah, you got now. Mind if we break the fourth wall here? Are you actually bitter rivals, or is this kayfabe?
No, it's real.
Okay, yeah, just for listeners.
I think.
Like, oh, he's just doing this.
I've always thought he was creepy from day one. I've always thought he was creepy, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt because Earl vouched for him, and he's been in podcasting for a long time, and he's a smart guy. He is, but he always has a weird fucking energy to him. Even when I was with him in the condo, I would like stay away from him because there was just a weird energy. Like was
that when he was doing the show with Josh Denny?
I don't even know. I didn't even know who he was. Nobody knew. And I because of Earl's recommendation, I brought him around to Kevin and everybody. And now he's made a fortune off a steel toe. And by the way, if steel toe never came after me, Patrick Melton would not be around.
Yeah.
He was just following it on social media. He followed me on Twitter and Instagram, and he goes, what's going on with these two people? And then Melton kind of inserted himself into this, and now he's made a fortune off this guy. I guarantee you, I swear to God, Patrick Melton's made more money in the past 3 years than he's ever made in his entire life.
Even more than the Bitcoin that he was doing before?
Oh, big time. Big time. He's made a fortune off this.
Yeah, the NLO coins.
Yeah, he's always had scams going, but this is like he legitimately locked in with this, got in with Carl and that whole thing, and he's killing it.
I will say props to him that he actually went into the audience or for the steel toe for the court hearing.
Well, they paid for it.
Well, yeah, but the fact that he actually did that is,
well, if the audience is going to pay for it, you better do it, or you're going to look really bad.
There's a lot of people in this universe who've done things.
By the way, I'm going to be in Minnesota in 2 weeks.
You're going to go to Stoney's?
I'm going to Stoney's.
Going to Stoney's? Are you going to show there?
Coach Scott? No, I'm just going. But I took the gig there before Melton decided to do this because he saw that I was doing it. So I'm going to go and I want the Aaron Emhold experience and see what happens.
See what's going on. Are you going to meet up with Ashley LaRue?
I hope. That'd be amazing.
Get a chance to autograph her
the book.
The book, yeah.
But that's the thing is like, in a weird way, like I didn't. You know,
if you're still listening to this and watching this, it's very dabble heavy.
But
this will be cut
in a weird way.
Get this.
As much as Steel Toe is annoying, he kind of like took my income to another level in a weird way, coming after me. I didn't. You know me. I didn't want anything to do with this guy.
Oh yeah,
this guy stinks. But I went from like I was scraping by through COVID to holy shit over $100,000 because of this guy. So in a weird way, I feel like some Thank you. I didn't want it. I rejected you, and I still reject you, but you kind of changed my lifestyle.
Yeah, because right around that time you were out of the Kevin Brennan business and then back in, and then you were out again and
Yeah.
then back in now, I guess. And you're at like this weird type of like middle ground,
Crossroads.
right? Where you're going like, don't want to step on toes. But it was cool seeing Kevin randomly and then the Bob Levy fight in Atlantic City last year.
You were there.
I was there.
We were
I
there.
helped encourage that. It's kind of my fault. Like Kevin just goes like, I'm like, hey, did you see Bob's here? Bob and Gina, and he's like, Bob's here, and pulls the phone right up here next to his chest, hits record,
You
and
gave
brings
the.
Stuttering John over, and then and the outfield was
You
playing.
need a little credit, don't you?
I'm at that point. It's just I'm like I have a little Forrest Gump where I'm kind of involved in certain things
Or around
with our
it.
universe.
Oh wait. Oh, he's live. Oh, Kevin's live.
Oh, so does he have Ashley on the phone or something?
Do you want to go on Kevin's show?
Mm,
Probably not.
you can if you want.
Not
I'm
really.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's how about this. We're about at the hour mark around that time, so we can wrap it up. But last thing I wanted to ask you because we've had a lot of celebrity deaths of late.
Oh
The
yeah.
Hulkster and Ozzy Osbourne, but one that didn't really get much play was Ryne Sandberg.
Oh yeah. Big fan. Big fan.
Because you were a big fan of the '89 Cubs, and not just the '89 team, but the WGN. And it's
I grew up
interesting.
on him.
It's interesting when you only had a certain amount of either cable channels or whatever. But the fact that the Atlanta Braves and the Chicago Cubs were America's teams, even though they were mostly garbage in the '80s, except for '84 and '89 when they went to the playoffs. But that Ryne Sandberg was a phenomenal player, dies of cancer last week. And I don't know, we're just focused on so many other things. It's like, oh, Rhino's dead, whatever. And I'm like, he was a huge part of a lot of our
Huge.
childhoods.
Huge. No, I mean, like I always said this. WGN was on. The Cubs were on more than the Indians. They just were.
Yeah.
I come home from school, they were on, and we had WGN, we had WTBS. So I just became a Cubs fan because they were on. You know, I went to school watching Bozo, and I came home watching the Cubs. It's just what it was. So I fell in love with that team, that the 88, 89, 80, 90.
89 was the year where the first and second and the rookie of the year were Cubs. It was Dwight Smith came
And
in
Jerome
second and
Smith,
Jerome Walton.
Jerome Walton. And then they went to the playoffs. It was not Will Ferrell,
Will Clark.
Will Clark versus Mark Grace, the battle of the left-handed
Yep.
swings. And San Francisco won, but I was so invested in that team. I was in. I knew all of them. I watched them every day. Harry Carey, Steve Stone, but I know that whole team. Damon Berryhill, Rick Sutcliffe, Greg Maddux, Sean Dunston, Luis Salazar, Manny Trio. I remember all these guys. I mean, it's just it was a very special part of my life.
Manny Trio actually got traded to Philly for Ryne Sandberg.
That's right.
It was a throw. Sandberg was just a throw-in, and they were. I think Larry Boa was in that deal too. And
But that fucking that infield of Grace, Sandberg, Dunston, and Salazar, it was fucking amazing.
and
And then you got
Steve Buechele, I think, played there too, and
Yeah.
just kind of random third baseman. But yeah, no, that was a good team. Just
Mark Grace was a G. Like Sean Dunston was a great thrower, but he was out of control. He saved that guy so many errors.
yeah, he was. I think Sean Dunston had a 42 IQ, but he could be talented if he wanted to be.
Yeah.
Make some great plays, hit 2 home runs in a game, and all of a sudden he's throwing the ball in the stands and fighting with people.
But that outfield was amazing. You got Andre, the Hawk,
Dawson and Wright.
yeah, and then you got Dwight Smith and you got Jerome Walton. It was just they were a magical team. I still have such an affection for that team.
They never, and they won that year, and they just never really did much. Although Mark Grace has the most hits of any player in the '90s,
He was amazing.
but because he wasn't a home run hitter, he's kind of forgotten by the way, gone by the wayside.
This is how obsessed with Mark Grace I was. By the way, I got my senior photos. I was wearing a Mark Grace jersey, but I tried to I was on the baseball team. I got cut my junior year, but I tried to switch to be a left-handed guy just so I could be like Mark Grace. I couldn't do it. It was terrible.
Now, Mark Grace was roommates with a former podcast guest, right?
I Dan
Dan Filato.
Dan Filato, yeah.
He was on about a year ago. We had him on, and I talked to Mark Gray stories, and everyone in the comments was like, "Boring. I don't want to hear this stuff." And it's like, well, "Fuck you, then."
Yeah, it was fun.
We're having a good. We're doing it. We're having a good time.
We're doing it.
Just shooting the shit here in my couch here, and that's
I like your Hills hat.
you like they got the Hills hat, the Geauga Lake shirt. Just I did it for you. I dressed up for you.
You're retro.
But I appreciate you folks for watching this and listening to this. Do your plugs.
Is this Patreon?
Yeah, it's Patreon, and then it's going to go out for free on the podcatchers, as I think they call them now.
Sign up to mine because Stuttering John struck my original one, so I'm trying to build mine back up. It's World War Z on Patreon for as little as $5.
There you go.
Audio, video, chat room, all that stuff.
There you have it. Well,
it is.
It's good to see you, and enjoy yourself here, and then
let's bump mics like Jeff Ross and David Tell.
That was like one of the last things I remember right before COVID was bumping mics, and I'm going, just give it 2 more months, and Dave Attell would want it completely Lysol the thing and put it in hand sanitizer. I think he still wears a mask nowadays, but no, it's yeah.
Judith Freelander does still.
Yeah, he does. I saw that.
He's out of his mind.
We met him. We hung out with. I remember that was at the Comedy Store. We hung out with him, Brad Williams. We're just name dropping all the whole time. Theo Vaughn was there, and it was Don Barris.
Dude,
you introduced me to Don Barris.
I did. You know, I used to headline shows, and Theo Vaughn was like, I have posters.
He was at the Comedy Jews.
Yeah, I was the headliner, and Theo Vaughn was just on the show. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was, and my girlfriend at the time.
I've known him forever.
It was like, oh, that's the guy from Road Rules. Going, oh, couldn't tell you, and it was funny. And there was that one show, actually, it was at the Hollywood Improv, where it was Kevin Smith was there at the beginning, and I think you brought Nikki Glazer up. It was that show that you and that girl, Christina Walkinshaw, they were doing, and Dane Cook came up there. And
it's so weird. Like, I was like in that mix, but the problem with my career, whatever you want to call it, I just kept coming back to Cleveland, so I kept ruining it. If I would have stayed around that era with Whitney and Jeselnik, and I would have maybe have done something because I was in it.
But when you came back there, they still remembered you.
Of course. But I just went for, like, when Bo Matthews offered me that job, I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I need the money.
Yeah.
But what if I would have just hung around and just kept doing it?
Jessica Simpson and
yeah, it was a weird time, man. I was there. I was in it. And to this day, like, I go up to Theo Vaughn and like, hey, what's up, dude? He's like, fuck you, faggot. I don't know if you can say that.
You can say it. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
You're just not allowed to make Jewish jokes. I'm just kidding.
Not today.
No, not today on this podcast. Rest in peace, Howard Stern. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching this, listening. I'll be back with you next week with another free podcast, but then I also have others on my Patreon at patreon.com.
Can you email this to me?
I sure can. I will do that in 3 shakes of a cat's tail.
Patreon.
There you go. World War Z, you said, right?
Yes.
World War Z. Go check it out.
I like it. It's growing on me.
And patreon.com. Just like the things on Patrick Melton's face.
Boom.
That's how we end it.
Sound effect.
Bye, everyone.